Welcome to the stream, you guys. I assume that the stream has started. Ooh, really? If you guys hear a door creaking, it's because I'm sitting right by my back door. We actually had our AC unit blow out last night. So yeah, it's kind of shitty, but I mean, it's generally how these things go. So, especially now that it's summer and I live in Texas and it's hot as shit. Yeah. I am going to hop into Photoshop here in a second. Let me just paste this. Cool. Post. Alright. So, welcome to the stream, you guys. Feel free to hit the like button if you guys have not already. Ooh, I need to hurry. If you guys are in the Black Simmer, feel free to check this post out right here. I recently made a model off of Instagram. I think he was like a former football player or something. And I will be removing this post tonight sometime. I said later this evening. There's some people who said leave it up for 24 hours, which I'm considering, but I mean, this evening to me means like 12 hours or less, you know what I mean? I posted it this morning at 8 a.m., so I was thinking about taking it down at around 8 p.m. So, there's that. This is actually a pattern I put onto... Oh shit, where is it? No, don't tell me I closed out of it. Alright, there it is. Sorry, y'all. As always, I'm not organized, and that's not it. Cool. I'll get my shit together. There it is. Cool. So this is the swatch I started off with. Oh, never mind. Take it back. This one. Started off with this gray swatch, just a plain gray dress. This is the Void Watcher dress by Eliva, I think. I believe their terms of use say you can recolor. I'll have to go back and check that out before I actually do release these, but this will be my first recolor that I release in the Black Simmer. So if you guys have not signed up for the Black Simmer, feel free to do so now. Give me just a second. Okay, so basically this is what we started off with, just a plain gray mesh with some texture. I wish I could zoom in, you guys, but I'm still learning how to use this mouse. I got a little wireless mouse about a week ago, maybe a little more than a week ago, and I'm still trying to learn it. I've gotten the hang of using it in-game, but not actually using it on my computer. Let's see, anything else I need to catch you guys up on? So I got Photoshop last night, Photoshop CS6, and that's how I've been able to do this. I've been wanting to recolor, I've been wanting to make my own clothing, my own hair within The Sims, because I've been inspired by everyone within the Black Simmer. So here's my first attempt at a recolor. It's not perfect, but I love this swatch in particular. There's also this swatch. I like the symmetricality of it. It's just a little bit off. Right here you can see it's like slightly off kilter, but I think that's the way the pattern is cut. Like if you see right here off to the side, it's kind of like slanted a little bit. So there was no real way for me to get it perfectly on there, and I'm sure there is, but I don't know. I'm fine with this. It looks cool to me. And then there's this one, which is just a plain purple, like almost like a periwinkle color. I did have this one as well, but this is going to be a pastel recolor, and this isn't really a pastel color. So I'm thinking about leaving it. I'm also thinking about deleting it. I've deleted it twice already, and I've re-added it back twice. So you can tell how conflicted I am. Copy. Okay, cool. Let me see. I might actually have to redo all of this shit. Because if you guys can't tell, there's a lot of holes right here, but like I said, this is my first recolor, so I'm not really like gonna hold it against myself. I don't know how the holes showed up. They weren't there before. They're not on this gray swatch, I don't believe. Oh yeah, they are. I don't fucking know, y'all. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally just experimenting here, but this is what I've got so far. I'm actually gonna go into game and test them out and see how that works. Shit, never mind. It'd help if I actually put them into the game before I loaded it. Yeah, let me just exit out of this thing because it's going to sit there and load in the background, and I don't need that right now. Hopefully it doesn't corrupt anything. I just merged a bunch of files, and I have not tested the game out yet, like with the merged files. Alright, cool. So I think it's closed now. Yeah. Let me figure out, how do I export this? I guess just export, but I want all of them to export them. File, save. The package has been saved. Okay, so where the fuck is it? If any of you get anxiety from looking at anyone else's screen, then don't look at this. Actually, it's right here. Axel Bose. That's going to be my creator name. I decided on it a while ago. I recolored a hat. Well, I didn't recolor it. I just added text to it using the GIMP or something like that. And that was the name I chose to add down here, and I just kind of stuck with it. Let me open up my Finder. This isn't really going to be much of a gameplay or build mode at all. This is really just me learning the ropes of Photoshop, and I figured why not show you guys as I learn. And maybe I can teach you guys, maybe you guys can teach me a little something if you see me doing something wrong. Let me see here. I actually have not cleaned out my computer in a while, so I do apologize if it's like really messy, if it bothers anyone. Like, that wasn't my intent, was to like piss anyone off early in the morning. Well, it's 3 o'clock, it's not early by any means. But I did want to figure this out on stream, and so I figured why not just try it out. So I'm going to make sure I actually have the Void Watcher dress in my game, because I took it out so that way, Void Watch. Okay, so that's the matte one. I hope I don't need anything other than the matte one. Oh, these are my mods. Okay, cool. So it is in my mods. Never mind. Scratch that. Let's go ahead and jump into game and see what we can do about this. Katie Key, SimPixels, is helping me out a lot, actually. She didn't really have a say in it. I kind of just like started messaging her and was like, hey, could you help me out? Like, I have these questions about so-and-so. And like, I'm not getting this, I don't understand how this process works and stuff like that. And so she actually has been helping me not really holding my hand because it's been pretty straightforward, but she's been like helping me correct my mistakes, if you will. Like I'll send her pictures of things that I think look wrong or things that didn't get executed right. Like I said, this mesh, somehow when I imported it into Photoshop or when I exported it from Sims 4 Studio, it created holes. See, but mine looks like that too. Sorry, I'm literally like messaging her on Facebook right now as we speak. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to do a pastel one and also a, you know, if that works for you. If not, I'll probably download it from there as a PNG. If not, I'll properly upload it to Sims 4. Okay, so let me minimize this. That's our little shit of a dog. He's actually back there asleep behind me. I don't want to wake him up because he has calmed down quite a bit. I think I added this watch, so let me exit out of this. Don't save because I don't want to edit that. I don't see any holes in my model. That's strange. You guys almost saw something very disgusting. Oh shit. My eyes are watering. I almost threw up. Oh, that was strange. Let me see if I can't download this. Save image to as. Okay, so I'm going to save that into my recolors folder, minimize this, and I'm actually going to try and open the file that Katie just sent me, because she says that when she imports it, when she imports it into in Sims 4 Studio, it does not have the holes in the same way that mine has been showing up with holes. So I want to see if the model, if the Sims that wear it in the game actually do have holes, because if so, then I'm going to have to scratch all of the pastels, which it's only 3 or 4. There's only 2 of them that I actually care about, and that's the, let me see, there's one with this pattern on it. It doesn't look as vibrant, it's real washed out, but I was going to do like 3 different gradients, like a light, medium, and a dark version of this. And I only did the light one just to test it out. And then I believe if I wasn't a head ass and deleted it, I should still have the tab open. Nope, of course not. Yeah, I do. This one. The one that has this one is, again, it's really washed out. It's not as vibrant pink as that. So, let me see. Let's see what mess we've made. Why is there a half-naked baby there? Oh, this was the sci-fi build house, and that little boy was a robot. I had like a robot costume for him. I'll just add a sim to this household. Because these 3 sims, I guess they're on the gallery. I knew them 2 were the 2 brothers and sisters, and I guess this guy I added afterwards, after the fact. So let's see. I'm just gonna do a standard base female sim. I'm not gonna take the time to do clothing and shoes and all that. I'm literally just gonna put the dress on. Let's see how it looks. Now, mind you, I have not figured out how to do anything in terms of creations. I know how to put the texture on the dress, but I don't know if it's actually going to show up in the game. As you guys can see, I just passed by. No, that's not it, because that was too many swatches. I almost had a panic attack. I hope it shows up. I really fucking do. I've been working on them all morning. Mind you, I've taken breaks. It's not like I've just been sitting here, like, stressing over it, you know what I mean? Oh, it's so fucking cute. I just downloaded that a few days ago and I haven't used it yet. Let me see if it's a part of the swatches themselves. Yes, it is. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really emotional. It worked. It freaking worked. Now let's do the plus size model test. You guys, there's no clipping, virtually no clipping. There's a little bit right here, but I mean, that's to be expected. If your boobs are that big, it's going to pull apart at where the little ribbons stretch. So that's okay, that's realism to me. You guys, seriously, big shout out to Katie, Simpixels. If you guys have not already, go follow her on Tumblr. She's also in the Black Simblr. Guys, it worked. I'm honestly shook to the core with this work. These two swatches don't need to be here, so I'll go ahead and fix that a little bit later. It fucking worked. It worked. I think I'm just going to leave this like that. Those three. Because right now I don't quite know how to... what am I going to say? I don't know how to not include the mesh. So what that means is basically these are a part of the original swatches, right? Remember I told you I couldn't find it? I was looking for a separate... Let me try and explain it to you guys. So Katie Simpixels makes hair, right? She made these two hairs right here, which I just... well, she didn't make them. She recolored them. Let me rephrase that. This one she personally recolored for me, and it's just a single swatch. That's what I'm trying to get with the Void Watcher Dress recolors, is so that way they're their own individual swatch. So that way when you download them, they don't get lost. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they would be their own swatch. That looks so good with the dress. Fuck me. My Lanta, you guys, I am so proud of myself. You have no idea how stressful this has been. I want to see what it looks like with different skin tones. Let's see. God, that looks so good. And on lighter skin tones, it's not the best, but I mean, that's to be expected. It's a really vibrant color. Baby, whoa! My dog's having nightmares. Hold on. I'm so excited. You guys have no idea. Alright, so I'm just going to change her back to this mocha color, because I feel like that's a really good base skin color. And this hair is a little too loud for what we're trying to do. I'm just going to change it to a blonde or something. So, I'm actually going to exit the game again, so that way, did I do anything other than this? No. I created the Sam, but she's just a base Sam. Like, I don't really... maybe I should save her. Her name is Crystal Castles. Feel free to hit the like button, you guys, if you have not already. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to ask any questions. Again, I'm just learning Photoshop myself. I downloaded it last night in the middle of the night, like 11:30, 12 o'clock is when it finally finished downloading. So I have not really experimented much with it, but obviously I've done enough to be able to make my creations come to life in the game. So just a little backstory. I mentioned that I'm really interested in creating content for The Sims 4. I'm also really interested in creating fashion in real life as well. So The Sims is the next step for me. Eventually I can move on from recoloring things, and I can make actual meshes of things and start designing my own clothing, like in Marvelous Designer or what have you. I got that first pattern from here. It's just thepatternlibrary.com. They're free patterns that are available for use, and that one's actually really cute. I'm going to do this the right way and download it. Oh, shit, of course. Never mind, I lied. Don't tell anyone. But this is how I got the other one, was just by simply screenshotting it. Let me see. If I do that, there's no yellow. So I'm going to do it without the yellow and see how that works. I just mean the way the screenshot ended, it was right here, and then I'm going to end it down here as well. I'm just going to find some more patterns, and then anything that strikes my interest. Let's see, maybe if I view this in full screen, I can get more of the pattern at once on screen. Maybe not. Yeah, cool. Whoa. Whoa, bro. Y'all, if my graphics card is fucking up, I'm actually gonna have a panic attack. My computer's never done that before. I think I need a new processor, honestly. As often as I play The Sims and play really high graphics heavy games, I guess if you want to say, like I play IMVU as well on occasion. As often as I do those things, I think I'm going to need a little bit of a stronger processor to be able to handle not only the games themselves, but all the custom content that I use and things of that nature. This swatch is going to be blues, more bold colors, like bold patterns. One thing I am learning is that it's easier to reflect something if you get it right in the center. So if you can't see over here, I can't really show you with my mouse, but over here on the right hand side of the screen, I'm going to cut this right in half, because on that side, actually no, on that side it's cut down the center of this diamond, so I'm going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to grab maybe 2 more patterns, and then we should be good to go into Photoshop. This is huge. Again, the things I make aren't going to be everyone's personal taste, but that's why I make them, is because I want to see my own personal taste in the game. You can sit there and search for hours and hours on end to find CC or whatnot to fit you, but if you don't see CC that reflects you, make your own. You know what I mean? If you don't see CC that reflects your own personal taste, like things that you would wear in real life, make your own. Like, it's really not that hard to learn. I kept telling myself it was hard to learn and that I would never learn it, and so I kept pushing it off, and I never learned it. And then last night I actually had a friend named Drada who actually has a YouTube channel. She's in my featured channels now. So when you click on my channel, you'll see over there, her name is Drada Payne. She helped me find a working version of Photoshop for my computer. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Just for legality purposes and stuff. She came in clutch with the hookup. So I now have Photoshop. Speaking of Photoshop. Alright, this is the last one, I promise. I'm going to do 1 set of blues and 1 set of blacks. This will obviously be in the black. This is cute as fuck too, but to have all of those words and stuff line up, I'd sit there and cry. Like, I'd bawl my eyes out. I mean, I can try it. I knew that downloading them wouldn't give me the result that I wanted, so that's why I've yet to hit the little download button. But my computer does a pretty good job of screenshotting stuff as is. So yeah, let's get right into this. This, I'm actually, let's see, I should rename this to something a little more presentable. So that one was called Void Gray. So I'm going to do Void Blue for this one. Void Blue. And it should be a PNG file. Yeah, it's a PNG file. Maybe I need to keep the PNG in there, .png. I hope so. I hope. Because PNG is the file that you need to import into Photoshop, and then you export it as a DDS file so that way Sims 4 Studio can read it. So I need to know that it's a PNG file. So that's why I renamed that. Like I said, I'm still learning this myself, so if I'm not doing anything right, or if I'm taking too long to do a step that you know I could have done in 2 clicks and it took me 32 clicks to get there, please feel free to let me know, correct me. I'm not the type of person who's going to get defensive and be like, no, this is my way. Like, there is no way for me. I just started learning how to do this. So let's see, I should probably keep this a little exposed because all of my patterns are right here. So for the sake of my own sanity, I'm going to move all of these patterns into here. So if you guys are watching still and you want to vote on which patterns you want to see first, the blues or the blacks, like I said, I already named this blue, so that might be the first thing that we do. But if you see a certain pattern in here that you want to see first, let me know. And I'd be more than happy to choose one based on you guys. So for the blue, I'm going to do this one, this one. This looked black earlier, but it's blue. So I think I'm going to do that one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then this black background and this black background, this one and this one are all going to be black, obviously. So I think I'm going to get started with probably this one because it's the one that stands out the most to me. But I'm going to read you guys' comments because your opinion matters to me. It really does. If you guys want me to do a certain type of pattern, specifically, if you want me to challenge me and do something really obscure and out there, please feel free to let me know. Eventually, I would like to put I would like to put images on clothing like this, like something really trippy and far out, like that you don't see on clothes in CC form as is. There's a few paintings and stuff that are kind of trippy like this, but I want it as clothing because I'm the type of person who wears like bright, vivid clothes like that. And I don't care what people think, and I don't think my Sims would care what other people think either. Let's see, it looks good. Thank you, Poison Ivy. I wanted to know about the DDS plugin. I'm thinking it goes in the plugin folder. I can show you exactly where I put mine. So, my Photoshop is right here. However, I'm going to go to my Finder window first. And I'm going to actually see and make sure no one's answered that already in the chat. Hi Kai, Kie, hi Sim King. It isn't easy at all. I wanted to know about the DDS. Alex, I'm proud of you. It's so cute. Thank you, babe. Thank you. No, you're thinking the right thing, Poison. Here, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so applications. I'm on a Mac, so this probably won't apply to you if you have a Windows computer, but just follow along with me, okay? So this is my Photoshop folder. This is not the application. This is the application. This is the folder. Click here, plugins, right here. And there's my DDS plugin. I just dropped it in. Literally, I Googled DDS plugin Photoshop Mac, downloaded it, clicked and dragged it over. I think it was like a little folder, just a regular folder like this. And I just opened up the folder and there was 2 files in there. One of them was like a README and the other one was the DDS. I didn't bother reading the README because I followed a tutorial. Just clicked and dragged it over. I don't know what this does, but as far as I know, I'm able to export as DDS and it's showing up in my game, so I think I did it right. So just put it in your plugins folder. Like I said, if you're on Windows, it might look a little bit different, but there is a plugins folder. I know because I watched a tutorial for Windows first before I found the Mac one. So yeah, there's that. You did an amazing job. Thank you, Poison. I'm really happy to hear that. Like, you guys' compliments really do, like, push me to continue, you know what I mean? And they would save DDS, IDK where you'd find it. Just Google. Like, that's really how I found it. Will you play, create, or recolor things in Sims 3 and or 2? I have Sims 3. This little guy right here. I have the Sims 3. So I can look into recoloring some stuff for the Sims 3 because I know there's not many things out there. I know you guys are struggling, and maybe that will motivate me to want to play the Sims 3. I've played the Sims 3 once on stream, and like all 200 other streams that I've done were the Sims 4. If you can ever do this, you'll recolor for the Sims 3. I don't know if it's the same process, but I'm sure it's probably not too different. Let's see. We used to play Sims 3 a lot, never learned to recolor. You have good ideas. I guess you should start with recoloring. Start with recoloring. That's what I'm doing. Eventually I want to work my way up to Marvelous Designer, but that's a whole nother project. A whole nother ballpark. I just reload it when that happens. I'm impatient, so I stop. Haven't tried in over a month because I was trying to convert hair. It gives me a fat headache. I tried to convert hair, and I literally almost pulled my own damn hair out. Like, I gave up. I really did. Like, I gave up on content creating altogether. I didn't want to recolor anything. I wish I still had the first recolor I did because it looks like shit. I tried to do it with GIMP, and it doesn't have this item. I'm going to show you guys step by step of what I'm doing to recolor after I stop talking, but you would love that big cat. I can put it on one of the dresses. You was thinking it goes in there? Thank you. Big help, thank you. You're welcome, love. That's what I'm here for, to help you guys answer any questions you may have. So I'm going to do this one first. Maybe not. Edit, copy. You just copy your little thing. Like I said, if you're on Windows, it may look a little different, but just copy the entire image. This, when I open up my preview, I know copy means it's going to copy the whole thing within this window. It's not going to copy this outside stuff over here. I'm like pointing at it like you guys can see my finger, but the webcam's up here. So yeah, let me close out of that because I actually don't need it. I'm sorry, you guys. It's the return of the hiccups and the burps. I'm trying to drink water, but I don't think it's helping. Alright, so number one rule, layer, 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 layer. Always create a new layer before every single step. And I say every single step because literally I will do maybe like 5 or 6 layers just for this one pattern. Like, you may think, oh, you can just layer it all the way across, and you can, but the way that I'm trying to do things, it makes sense to make multiple layers. I'm just trying to tell you that because it's easier for you to delete a single layer if you make a mistake rather than do everything on this one layer, and then it's a lot harder to delete an entire layer if there's only one layer, you know what I mean? So you'd sit here and click undo, 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 and what if you made 70 steps in that one time period of sitting there, you know what I mean? So if you make multiple layers, you can close out and then come back in later, and you're like, oh, I don't really like the way that pink came out, and just delete the layer, and you start over with this like from scratch, like white, gray type thing. You use paint.net for recoloring posters only though. I've never heard of paint.net. I've used GIMP. I've used Pixlr, which is another free website thing, and they're nothing compared to Adobe Photoshop. So if you guys haven't, I really recommend looking into getting Photoshop. You didn't hear it from me, but if you go on Tumblr, just tumblr.com, and search free Photoshop, there's 100 of different options for Windows specifically. For Mac, not so much. It's really not that easy to find the free version. I could have gotten Photoshop like CS2 or something like that, or like Photoshop 2 or something, but I wasn't about that. Like, I wanted to make content that was up to date, and not saying that you'll be out of date, but you're using an out of date program, basically. Give me just a second. I need to check my Facebook messages because, like I said, Katie's been helping me out. She's been a really big help. And she sent me some tips. Multiply, overlay, and screen light. So let's do multiply. And then I do my opacity at about 50% just to start off with. So that way you can see the layer underneath. You don't have to name the layer if you don't want to. I've yet to name a single layer with all of the rest of the recolors I've done. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Like, it's really surprising, like, that I was actually able to get it. Like, I made it work. This little gradient map right here does that, basically. It takes it from, let me see, can I delete that? Delete layer. Don't show it. So basically it takes it from gray to whatever color gradient you want. You can do one of the preset gradients like that. Like I said, every piece of CC is going to be a little bit different in terms of how you do how you go about, let me see, what am I trying to say? The shadows and the texture of every single piece of CC is going to be different across the board. Every single shirt, every single dress is going to have different wrinkles. It's going to have different folds. It's going to have different shadows along the sides or along the stomach or like along the little like fupa underneath. You know what I mean? Some don't have shadows at all. That looks really cool. Hold up. No, I'm not going to do that. Let me stop doing this because I'm not doing gradients, I'm doing patterns right now. So that was just showing you there's a little tool right here, gradient, and then it brings up the gradients, and you can switch these around. You can choose one of the preset ones. There's actually there's metals, which don't say it. There are metals which are basically exactly that. Shiny metallic things, which the void dress already has metals, so I want to look into seeing maybe adding some more, like a rose gold one, because I don't believe there's in there. I think there's like purple, green, blue, and yellow or something like that. But yeah, so that's gradients right there. The only reason why I'm showing you that is because that's the most recent thing that was on my mind. Ooh, if you add multiple gradients, it gets lighter. Interesting, interesting, interesting. However, you want to keep in mind, you still want to have texture on your piece. Right now, there's a wrinkle right here, right here, right here, and you can barely see them. So this isn't a good gradient to use because it, how do I word this? I think I deleted the screenshots. Let me go into my trash folder and I'll show you guys what I mean by the texture and stuff. Let's see. Excuse me if something pops up that shouldn't be here. Okay. This was the dress as it was earlier. Maybe not if I can't find it. So this was how that first dress looked. As you can see, ignore the holes, they don't show up in game. I don't know if it's just like a problem with my computer or what. But as you can tell, there's hardly any texture. There's supposed to be folds here. There's supposed to be shadows under the arms. There's supposed to be shadows along here, like along the side. I think there's even texture along the side of here, and it just doesn't look right. It looks like you copied and pasted a texture onto the mesh, and that's exactly what you're doing. But I'm going to show you guys how to make it work a little better. So basically, I'm just going to edit. Oh, never mind. Do 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 do. Did I exit out of that? Yep. Alright. So, edit, copy, go go on over into your Photoshop program or whatever editing program you're doing and paste. Now, it's going to look scary, but stick with me, I promise. Like I said, this should have been layer 1. I don't know why it came up as layer 2, but we'll just work with it, okay? So make sure you're clicked on the layer. The way you can tell, this right here, I can't really do the best job of showing it to you guys, but this is the original mesh, layer 0. Yeah, it won't show it to you. This is the layer with this, and this is just a blank layer. So be sure you click on the layer that you just added, right, with this guy. Okay, so when I click and move it, it does not move the background. It just moves this because it's a separate layer on top of the original mesh. So go to your opacity, turn it down to, like I said, about 50 is where I like to start. That looks really good to me. You may want to do it a little lighter, like something like that maybe. You may want to do it darker, like that. Let's say you want to do it dark, right? You want it to be super, super vibrant, right, and stand out. So just leave it. You paste it right there. Don't mess with the opacity at all. Go up to image, layer, down here to create clipping mask, and voila. It's that easy. It's really that easy. Like, you just have to get over the hunch. You have to get over the fact that it seems terrifying, but I promise it is not that hard to do. Now, let's go into a little more detail. Let me step backward. Okay, so you guys saw this is the front. This is also the front. They don't line up, right? So when the two close right here, it's going to be like the blue or the yellow, orange, blue, and then this side is orange, blue, light, like teal, and then white, right? So they're not going to line up. If that doesn't bother you, feel free by all means. Just do it like this, upload it like this. I can show you what it looks like too as this. Let me save it. So when you go, you file, save as, DDS. Be sure right here under format, it is not Photoshop because it will not show up. DDS, and this, just ignore that, save. Be sure this is transparency because if it's not transparent, it will literally wash out your whole sim and your sim will be entirely white. Like, I'm not talking Caucasian, I mean white, like stark white, or it will be solid like midnight black. Like, and again, I'm not talking about skin tone, I mean like literal white and black. Or it will be both, which I've come across. So basically it's saving, it's that little doo-doo-doo is doing. Let's go into here, and let's see, do I want to add them to this? For the sake of the stream, I'm just going to add them to this existing thing, okay? So, let's move the pastels to the front. And I'm going to move this blue one right here because that's a great transition into our blue swatches. So here's the gray one. I'm going to move that to number 5. So click on, let me actually, I know I'm all over the place, you guys, but this is just how I think. So I do apologize. If you want me to slow down, if you want me to go back over something, please feel free to stop me. I will be trying to check the comments more frequently than I normally do in a stream. So just bear with me. I promise I'm not trying to go really fast because I'm a professional or anything. That's how my brain works. So to change the little color of the thumbnail, this is how you click on it in game, and this is how it shows you what color is underneath. So this is the pink and white filigree. I know that because it's a pink base with white highlight and then a gray mesh. Okay, so this is the light lavendery color with the gray mesh. This is the lavender pink with the gray mesh, but I probably should change that gray to be like a blue or something because this is the rainbow one. So the blue one, I just need that blue swatch, and then you just exit out, and there you go. Now you know your 4 different swatches or whatever, and you won't get them confused. So like I said, let me go back and show you guys what we just did. We did this, right? And like I said, this is not to my liking, but I want to show you guys why it's not to my liking, because it will not line up. I'll show you guys how to line it up here in a second, so just be patient. So you go to import, right here on your swatch. Be sure you click on the right swatch, because if not, it'll overwrite one of your swatches, okay? So, where is it? No. Snoopy. Okay, so I just have to redo this. Never mind. I saved one. Void blue. Okay, so this saved as something else completely. So let's just open this, right? There's one more step I didn't tell you guys. That actually looks okay. Whoa. Hold up. We did something, you guys. Shit, that looks good. This doesn't even bother me. Normally this little thing right here, like the seam or whatever from where, because it's a back, sleeve, sleeve, back of the skirt, front of the skirt, left and right piece. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 different pieces, okay? This does not look bad. However, it is just a little too stark for my liking. So let me try and straighten her out a little bit. And I'm actually going to delete the swatch because remember I told you guys this isn't to my liking. I don't mind it, I don't like it. So, let's remove the swatch and it's okay. I promise. Just go here, add swatch, and it should add back the gray one. Never mind, it did not. But that's okay because you're just going to add something else on top of it. So right now, like I said, we're going to be doing blues. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 of them. So let's go ahead and add, I don't know, 10 total. And go over here. Actually, no, we're going to keep number 4 because I like that one. Let's go to number 5. Same thing, you're just going to click import or whatever, and it'll wash out the blue and add your texture. So you don't have to start with the gray. That's what I was thinking, is I had to start with the gray, but you do not have to. Okay, so go back into Photoshop, and I'm going to turn the opacity down first, okay? Maybe to about 85% or 80. 85, probably good. Okay, it's still very bright, but it's nowhere near as bright as what the other one was before. So, let's actually click here. And if you can tell, it moves the mesh around, right? So, I'm going to center this to the back of the dress, like so. So that way when you're looking at it, this is what you see on the back. Right? But like I said, this mesh is a little curvy to accommodate for the female body, so it's not going to line up perfectly ever. It really will not. Now, what you can do is go back over here, edit, copy, and go back into this, because this guy is blank, right? Unless you wanted to leave it white like that, you could, which would probably be cute. Just edit, paste again, and it should create a new layer. Okay, so be sure that you remember your opacity from the other one. If not, just click right here, 85% opacity. Okay, that's a normal layer. So I'm going to change it to, I think, multiply is what I've been using. There's also multiply, overlay, and screen light. Let's try overlay. Okay, see, so it's not really doing much. And screen. Okay, so I'm just going to do multiply because it's closer to the top. It's easier for me to remember. So 85%, normal, multiply. Be sure that your settings are similar so that way they look okay when you go to do all of this stuff. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. So basically, as you can tell, there's 2 meshes on top of each other. You can just do this and slide this all the way over to the left, which is the easiest method. However, you're not guaranteed to match them up, right? These look like they match, but that's yellow and that's orange down there. So they do not technically match. You can probably find a way to do this. In which they match up a little better. It's not going to be a perfect match by any means, but it should look a little better when you actually go to put it on your sim, right? So you just want to make sure that you line up. At least for me, I'm a total perfectionist, and that looks about perfect, okay? Go to your layer, create clipping mask, and that should erase everything else that you don't need, alright? So, go ahead and save this as, change the name right here. I'm going to name it Chevron. I know it's not exactly a chevron, but for me, that's how I'll remember it. Chevron, void, recolor. Let me see. I'm going to name the beginning of all of these blue, so that way I know these are in the blue family, right? Remember I told you there's pastels, there's going to be blues, and then there's going to be blacks. So make sure it's not Photoshop. I almost did that. DDS, save. Make sure this is checked when you originally download the DDS plugin and whatnot. This will not be checked, but if you do not add this mipmap thing, it will tell you, be sure you add mipmaps. When you go into Sims 4 Studio and upload, it will say, cannot find, be sure you add mipmaps. And that's what this is, just click mipmap. I don't know what these filters are yet. I'm going to do a little more research after I get off the stream to see if this makes a difference. But Mitchell is fine. That's just what I've been using. That's what it came with and what it started as. And be sure the alpha channel, I think it's normally on none. Be sure it's on transparency, because you will have that problem where you have the white and black sim. Like the solid white or the solid black or the white head with like a black body. So, okay. Again, I do apologize if I'm talking a lot. I want to walk you guys through step by step so that way you guys can do this yourself, because you can do it yourself. I think we hold ourselves back because we see other people's work and we get intimidated, right? We see people like Blawberry Pancake, or people like Ebonix, Danny, people like Mira, people like Black Life Sims, and you're like, damn, I wish I could be like that. You just have to learn. You have to practice. They practiced. You know what I mean? Look how good that looks. Again, it's not perfectly symmetrical, but I think that's okay. I really don't mind this at all. I like the ribbons turned out red instead of white, because every other swatch I've been doing, if you guys couldn't tell, this one's an orange ribbon and this one's red. This right here is red and blue. And I think it did that because we lined them up so perfectly in the center. Again, it's not 100% perfect, but I'm learning. So maybe eventually I'll learn some shortcuts. Sorry, y'all. Again, I'm a perfectionist. I have to straighten her up. I guess that's fine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that swatch. We'll go ahead and throw it into game here in a minute. Let's edit this so that way it reflects. Now, all of these have a gray swatch. I think for the blue ones, I'm going to remove this gray right here. So for that one, we'll just have blue. Can I do another type of blue? Will they let me do that? I'll just do the same kind of blue. Alright, so it should be a whole, what the hell? A whole square of blue, is what I'm trying to say. What the shit? Okay, well, it's gonna come off with a little triangle like that. I was trying to make the whole square blue, but whatever, you get the idea. So this guy, go ahead and change this. I'm gonna do yellow first, like a mustardy yellow. Let's save that, because that's actually a decent color. The blue is not too far off, so let's just slide this a little bit this way. Okay. And then red. There we go. So now you have your little thumbnail. So when you go into your game, you can see this one's solid blue, this one is red, blue, and yellow. I've not learned how to make thumbnails, but like I said, I haven't even learned how to remove the mesh, so I don't really need to look into thumbnails right now. If you guys want me to make another tutorial like this, I would be more than happy to when I learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, I'm actually having a lot of fun. So feel free to ask any questions. I'm actually going to check the chat and hop back into Photoshop really quick. This is already saved, so this is the scary part. Just click the X. Now, we're going to go ahead and save this one because, let me think, I have the blue one saved already. So, save, for the PSTs, okay, whatever. Alright, so we're going to go File, Open. There should be a blue one, void blue. Remember, like I said, these are going to be the blue swatches, so void blue is going to be our base layer. Let me go ahead and copy the mesh that we're going to be doing next, which I'll start with this one. This is a green one, so I don't know if I want to incorporate it, but there's like a navy in the center, so I mean, I guess I could, in theory. So edit, paste, there you go, turn your opacity down. I think 85 is a good number for me. Find whatever number is comfortable for you. Layer, create clipping mask. There you go. Now, you see that it did not do this, so let's go ahead and switch this up a little bit. I'm going to read you guys' chat and then I'll explain what I mean by switching it up. Hi Andreda, babe. Thank you again so much for all your help last night, Andreda. I really do appreciate it. You've used Paint before. GIMP stressed you out. Photoshop really is the best. Hi Alex, sweetie. You're wearing a shirt for once. I am, but it's very small. It's a very tiny little Houston tank top. Like the straps literally could be nothing less than a spaghetti strap at this point. That's good to hear you're doing well, Deborah. I'm glad that you came to the stream. Are you changing colors for different swatches? Yes, that's what I was doing. I was changing the little, you know how, let's see, when you download a hair, right, it has a yellow swatch for blonde hair, or like a blonde colored swatch for blonde hair, and then there's a black one, and then a blue one for the blue hair, and then red for the red hair. That's what I'm doing, or that's what I was doing a second ago. How does it work for Sims 4 since it doesn't have the color wheel in game? Do you want to explain that? We have swatches in Sims 4. These or whatever pattern to use will be the only option of that item in CAS. Are you going to leave this video up? Yes, I will be leaving this video up. That's why I'm not playing any music in the background. So I do hope the audio comes out okay. I'm talking at a decent level. My dogs have been, knock on wood, they've been acting right. They've been asleep the whole time. They haven't been barking, so there'd be no reason for me to like remove the audio. So I will be leaving this video up, yes. You think it's cute? Thank you. I really like, that's what I'm saying, like, some of these patterns are things other people don't think about. And I'm not saying I'm like this innovator, like this brand new thinker or anything like that, but like I have a different mind than other people do. You know what I mean? So of course my ideas are going to be a little different than other people's. And some people forget that sometimes, that your own personal touches and flavor and like essence can be brought into the game. Like actually no, I'm gonna do a forest green color. Images. This one's nice. This one has a little bit of a texture, which we can try it. We'll see what this does. The image. If it's too small, we can't use it. Let me see. Okay, we can try that. I don't like the little specks, so we're not going to use that one. Like I said, when you guys start making your own content, because I know you will, you're capable of doing it. So don't hold yourself back. Don't let anyone else hold you back either. And don't let a fear of making mistakes hold you back. This is so pretty. I love this color. I don't know why. Like I mean, it reminds me of the forest, obviously, but speaking of, I'm inspired by these trees. We're going to come back to this in a second. Let's see. I want to find a forest green that has a slight texture. Let's see. This might work. I'm going to download one more, or screenshot one more, just in case, just to be on the safe side. Because that's a little small, so it might come out a little pixelated, and it might not look the best. I love this color, you guys. Like, why isn't that CC? Like, I really wish. Okay, so let me tell y'all my story. I love making my own items. I've been doing DIY stuff in real life since I was a little boy. Like, since as far back as I can remember, like maybe like 7 or 8 years old, I was like either baking stuff from recipes I saw on TV on the Food Network or like HGTV. I would like make the little crafts or whatever out of like paper plates and shit like that, and that's where it stemmed from. Growing up, I went to a gifted and talented academy, and I was in the 4th and 5th grade, and I was supposed to go in 6th grade, but that's when I moved here to Houston. And before that, I was in a, I don't know how to call it. It was called Project Think, and it's basically an advanced placement group, I guess, that would pull you out of class twice a week. And I believe our days were like Tuesday and Thursday or something like that. But I was advancing so quickly for my age range that they had me in there almost every single day. So I basically had that Project Think class as one of my other classes. It was something that I went to almost every single day. And I never understood why. I knew that there was something different about me because other kids pointed it out. I was teased when I was younger because I would sit there and read books instead of being outside playing on the playground, or I would be outside or whatever, and I wouldn't be playing, you know what I mean? I'd be reading a book, or I'd be playing with Pokemon cards or something, you know what I mean? I was just a really closed off kid. And I thought it meant there was something wrong with me, but it really wasn't that. It was just the fact that I think differently than other people do. And that's okay. And I think people forget that sometimes, that it's okay to be different. It's okay to stand out. And that's where my love for... I don't know how to describe it. That's where my love for creation came from, was being so different and knowing that other people aren't me, and no one else is you either. So be yourself. Like, don't be afraid to stand out sometimes. Oh, cool. Okay, so the enter button frees you from the transform thing. So right here, I just clicked edit, transform, scale, and that's how I was able to shrink the picture down. Layer, create clipping mask. Y'all, this is about to be fiery as fuck. I can feel it already in my bones. Hold on. I don't think I was ready. I really don't think I was ready. Let me drop this down to 85 and maybe 90, because this is a different pattern, so it might look a little different. File, save as. Oops. Alright, so make sure you save it. Like I said, this one's going to be a blue, so I think the other one just said blue, it didn't say void. So blue, forest, green, gradient. Remember, save it as a DDS file, save, be sure bitmaps and transparency are checked, always, 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 always. I don't think it matters what you're making. I'm going to look into making hair soon, and I don't think transparency makes a difference. Actually, no, it does make a difference, but transparency is not available on some hairs. I don't know why, but I tried to work on hair first, and it confused the fuck out of me, so that's why I started working on this dress. Let's go ahead and open this up. Click on one of your empty swatches that you want to replace. Like I said, ignore these holes right here because they're just glitches, right? So when I move it like that, it looks fine. But when you go to move it like this, there's holes. But as you guys saw at the beginning of the stream, there are not holes when you go into the game. I don't know what it is. I've yet to figure that out. Okay, so here's the deal. I like this in theory. I do not like this little gray section showing right here. The arms, that's okay. That's perfect. Right there, it comes to a little point. The skirt is just about perfect. It did exactly what I wanted to. It's a little gradient. The back, no, it's not bad. The sleeves look a lot better in the back than they do in the front on this side. But I am actually going to delete this because I do not like that. And like I said, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be afraid of having to start over, because in theory, you don't actually have to start all the way over. Just go back into your program and slide your image around. Oh shit. Oops. So go to your first layer, click right here, and you should be able to just slide this right down. So it should get rid of the little gray part that's stuck through. What did I name this other one? Cancel. Is it the blue chevron? No, forest green. I have a terrible memory, guys, so if I repeat stuff a lot, it's either because I'm reminding myself or because I want anyone who just showed up to understand what's going on. Because one thing I've noticed is when people stream things like this, they either go too fast because they assume everyone knows what's going on, and most of you don't. Like, from what I'm reading in the chat, some of you guys have never even downloaded Photoshop. You've never experimented with Photoshop. You know what I mean? So if you do get it, I want you to be able to go back and watch this video because it's going to go up on my channel. And I want you guys to be able to follow along with me. And if you make a mistake, I don't want you to have to sit there and pause it and figure out, oh, what did I do wrong? What did I mess up on? You should be able to continue with the video playing in the background, and it should make sense as to what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And some people forget that not everyone is up to the same level, right? I'm not saying anyone's better than anyone else, but I've obviously been working on this a lot longer than someone who doesn't have the program, right? Like I said, I just started this last night, so I've not been working on it as long as SimPixels or Amira or Danny, Blacklight Sims, Complex, none of them. I haven't been doing this as long as they have, but I'm not going to speak as if everyone knows what's going on in the audience, right? Like, that's why I'm going step by step, and I want to show you guys that you can do it too. Like, look how much better that looks, and I literally just clicked and slid the image down. So it got rid of the little gray part right there, and now that's almost a near perfect cut across the back. It would be nice if that lined up right there. I'm going to fix it just because it's going to bother me. So where's the back? This is the back, so I'm just literally going to take this and slide it down this slightest bit. Right there, file, save as. Save as a DDS. Save. It's just asking if I want to replace the one that's already there, so yes, I want to replace it because the other one does not look the way I wanted it to. Minimize this, import. Like I said, it just takes a lot of playing around. I have not taken this much time on any of the recolors. None of these took this long, but I want to make sure that they come out right because, like I said, I'm going to be releasing this to the public. And you see how that looks so much better. You guys probably didn't notice it. I did. Some of you guys may be perfectionists like I am, but it looks so much better now that that lines up. And there's a random dark blue right here. It doesn't really bother me, but there's no other blue anywhere else on the dress. I'm going to leave it alone for right now because I'll sit here and pull my hair out over it. Let's go ahead and change the swatch to reflect what we've got going on here. This, we can make like a pastel green and maybe like a deep, almost black green. That will work. Okay, so you can barely tell the difference between those, but I know they're there. And like I said, once you guys add them to your game, you'll kind of get the hang of what they look like. I'm going to change this to say recolors because it's actually not a pastel anymore. It has all of the colors in it. Like I said, Axl Bose is going to be my creator name. You guys know Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose. My name is Alex. Axel was a name that I tried to give myself as a nickname as a kid, and no one wanted to call me that, so now it's coming back, and I'm okay with that. So, I said I was inspired by I love the forest. I love anything that's like green and vibrant like this. Like, this is right up my alley in terms of creation. So why not put it on a fucking dress? Let's try it, you guys. Let's see what it looks like. It may look like shit. It may not look right at all. But you know what? I'll never know until I try. And it looks really cool in the picture, so maybe it'll look really cool on a dress. But like I'm saying, like, I haven't seen other people that put whole images onto dresses or onto t-shirts and stuff. Like, yeah, obviously you get your t-shirt with like a little Selena picture or something on it, but I'm taking it to the next level. You know what I mean? And that was why I wanted to create CC, because like I said, everyone has a different brain. Everyone thinks differently. So what you think may look like the most beautiful image in the world, someone else may think it looks like shit. You know what I mean? And vice versa. Something that someone else made and may have taken weeks to make, you know what I mean? I may not like it. I may look at it and be like, ew, I can do that so much better. So do it yourself. Do it better. If you think you can do it better, then prove them wrong. You know what I mean? Like, prove that you can do it just as good, if not better, than some of the swatches that were created. I'm not saying this is a competition. By no means should it be a competition, but you should want to better yourself based off of the CC and the content that you see already around you, right? Like, you should want... Don't go into this thinking, oh, I just got a whole new set of... This was supposed to be blue and honey, this is going to be green. I don't know what to tell y'all. Let's see. What is that called? Jasper? Oops. I thought Jasper was green. Whoa. 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 Green gemstone. You guys can tell I'm out of practice with my stones and crystals. I could have sworn. Olivine, eucalyptus, zircon. There's green quartz, green tourmaline, that's what I was looking for. Again, like I said, this may end up looking like shit, but I'll never know until I try. The image... Oh, guess we downloaded it, sis. Okay. I mean, alright. I didn't mean to do all that, but okay. There's no specific reason why I don't like downloading stuff. It's just a personal preference. I'd rather screenshot it because I know for sure my screenshots save here, and whereas the downloads save into the downloads folder. So I have to go hunting down and looking for it and whatnot. Don't save. File, open. Blue. So, edit. Shiitake mushrooms. Okay, so these can actually go into the recolors folder. Again, like I said, my desktop is an actual and physical mess. Like, I should do something about it, but not while I'm on stream. Okay, so I like this one a lot. I could mirror this down the center. I also like this one too. I mean, obviously I like all of them, or I wouldn't have downloaded them. Is this blue? It is the blue one. See, it wasn't showing up. Before it would show up like this. And I think that's still okay, but I need it to show up like this so that way I can assure myself in my mind that it's actually going to show up as a transparent item when it goes into the game. Whoa, you guys are typing fast. You may have just learned to recolor. That was the point. That's why I wanted to come on here, is to teach you guys. Because I'm learning myself too, you know what I mean? And by teaching you guys, I'm solidifying it in my own mind. By saying it out loud so many times, I'm like, okay, now I've got the hang of this. And I'm ready to move on, honestly, to like retexturing things. Which is the next step. After recoloring, I believe retexturing is probably the next easiest. By no means do I think it's simple to do, but I think it would be the next logical step for me. So I just turned down the opacity, I pasted this, and I'm actually going to edit, transform, scale. All I'm going to do with that is just stretch this over to the edge right here. Stretch me to the edge. I'm joking. Alright, so I'm actually going to do that. Let's see. Okay, so the enter button gets you out of the transform mode. Layer, create clipping mask. Now you can click and drag this to suit your needs. I actually need to go back into the edit, transform, and scale this. Oh, schmoody. Does that look okay? I know I'm really up close and personal right now, but I just want to make sure this looks fine. See, I want more leaves than I do bamboo twigs, so let's do something like that. I don't want the skirt to be the same pattern, so I'm actually going to do, oh lord, edit, undo. Okay, I don't know what that does, so that's just why I wanted to undo it. Like I said before, it's just going to be trial and error till you learn what you like and what looks best on your game. So let's see, edit, or enter, excuse me, edit, paste. Now I'm just going to take, edit, transform, scale. I'll read you guys' comments in just a second. You know how you kind of get like on a roll with stuff sometimes? That's me right now, 100%. So let's do opacity 85, not 52, 85, 85, okay, enter, layer, create clipping mask, and there you go. These are going to be the sleeves, okay? This may end up looking like shit. It may be the best swatch there is on there. You never know until you try. So let me exit out of that, and I'm actually going to revisit this because I really like the way it turned out on that other one. Like I said, when you guys start making your own content, you make whatever the hell you want. You don't have to wait for anyone else's approval to determine how you should or shouldn't make your CC, because it's yours. And that's the great thing about it, is it's creative freedom. You get to create the content you want to see, and you'll find a niche group of people who like seeing the same things you see. Like, how do I word this? You'll run into a group of people who see things the way that your eyes see them. You know what I mean? So to some people, they may be looking at this and be like, why the fuck did he put trees on that top? Like, it's supposed to be like this nice, luxurious top. I don't give a fuck. I think it looks cool. And I bet you it's going to look cool as hell when I go in to Sims 4 Studio here in just a second. I'm not being cocky. I'm just saying I know what my personal aesthetic is, and I know what I would like to see in my game. And I make a lot of whimsical Sims. I have a Mother Nature Sim, and she would look great in this. She'd blend right into her house. Her house is nothing but trees, and it's a tree house. So image, layer, excuse me, create clipping mask. There you go. It's as easy as that. I'm actually going to turn this opacity up just a little bit. 83. This might be 100 actually. Let's do 100. Can I do more than 100? Oops. 100. Okay, so we'll just do, we'll do 98, just to be on the safe side. And actually, here's what we're going to do different. So let me click this, edit, transform, rotate. So I should, oh bitch, I could do it up and down like this. I think I'm going to do this though. Sorry, I was trying to get that perfectly on 180. Like I said, I'm a perfectionist. You don't have to be this perfect. Not saying I'm perfect, but you don't have to do things as precisely as I'm doing them in order to make this easy happen. Like, sis, just freaking work with me, sis. Okay, so this is, let's see. So we're gonna do forest, green, trees. Should we save it as a DDS? And it changes up here to show you that it is a DDS file, whereas before it said that it is a PSD, excuse me. So be sure you change this to DDS, and it says that up here. Be sure your bitmaps are on, and transparency. Okay, so that is saved, and there's another swatch in the books. So go right over here. This is the next thing that I want to do, and let's see how this looks. Okay, so I have some criticism. The top doesn't look bad. It's borderline camouflage, which, like I said, was kind of what I'm going for, but the bottom doesn't reflect the top. Do you see what I mean? These are completely different family of greens than this is. So let me see about, I'm going to change the skirt. Give me about 5 minutes. I'm actually going to use the bathroom, and I will be putting up my little bathroom break sign. I will be right back, you guys. Alright, you guys, I am back. Let me go grab a little granola bar and I'll start streaming. As if you guys can hear me from across the damn kitchen. Alright. I will be changing this 5-minute break thing. I'm not going to get rid of her completely, but I think I'm going to get a more professional one. This was actually just a joke. I just had a screenshot. This is actually what she looks like now. That's Cassandra Goth. I really love how she turned out. This is what she looked like with that exact hair, but before I gave her like the skin upgrade. Okay, so Deborah mentioned doing something with mental health awareness, which I am all for. Let me look for a hoodie mesh, because I have some. I have hoodies in game. Sorry, I'm eating a chocolate, like a dark mocha Kashi bar. And like I knew, one of the dogs heard me opening it and he came running, and I had dropped some chocolate chips on the floor. So I had to pick that up. Really, buddy? Go potty? You need to go potty, Meebo? Meebo, potty? Hmm? Okay. I apologize for walking away from the stream. I just have a big baby that needs a lot of tending to. Let's see. She's beautiful. Thank you. Thanks. Let me... TS4 hoodie. Maybe I should find something. What I was saying before I walked away was there's plenty of hoodies out there. However, there's not many creators that actually let you recolor their items and upload them. I think Tumblr is probably a better bet for finding let's see. The Sims 4 why didn't it just search hoodie? No one says sweatshirt. I take that back. Everyone has their own vernacular. I'm sure someone out there says sweatshirt. Ooh, I found a kid's one. Do not re-upload or claim as your own. So basically when it says that, do not re-upload or claim as your own. Do not upload this onto your personal page and remove the link to here, right? I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong if you guys know anything about this. But I believe you're allowed to recolor something as long as it does not say no recolors allowed. I'm just going to download this because, I mean, I could always use a Pokemon hoodie. I love Pokemon. Blue, no! Go potty, Meebo? Go potty? Behave. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell into the mic like that. Both of my dogs are still puppies. My dog is going on 3 years old, so he's still in his terrible twos. And my sister's dog is less than a year old. So what the... I love MacBooks. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I can go into my history and just reopen the last closed tab. I'm sure there's other browsers and stuff that do it. But, yeah. That one could work. Okay. So I'm just trying to find a basic hoodie. I don't know why I can't find any. Here we go. What are some of your favorite shirts? I'm going to do male and female because you didn't specify. Untucked loose tank top. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let's open this girl. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. Never mind, I can't do number 5. I'll do a male hoodie first, and then I'll look into making it female appropriate, if that makes sense. So I like number 2, but number 4 might look a little better in terms of oh, this was the one I was just saying I liked too. My first upload. Went ahead and fixed. Upload the original post, new download link, also put it here. Okay, so I'm going to download this pullover, and I'm going to read their terms of use after I do this. Because I mean, I could always use the pullover in my game, but let me go to the original post. Feel free to recolor. There you go. That's all I needed. Feel free to recolor. Should be base game compatible. Should be. I don't like that. I don't like that. However, all I have is City Living, Backyard Stuff Pack, Bowling Stuff Pack, and that's it. So if you guys don't have City Living, like I'm just saying, I have the bare minimum in terms of the game. So if it doesn't work for anyone else, it may be because you need City Living. So I will be able to test it out for you guys. But let's go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to go ahead and put a pause on this guy over here. I just got a little bored of it. Like, I don't know. I didn't like how the skirt was turning out on that last thing. I'll go ahead and show you guys what it was like. I didn't really like the skirt at all. I'm starting not to like the top pattern either. And when I get to that point, I usually just give up. So instead of giving up, I think I'm just going to go ahead and minimize this and open up a new one. So add, oh shit, hold on. Let's go into my Finder right here. Let's open up a new tab. And let's see. Documents? Yes, Sims 4 Studio. Mods. Okay, so if any of you want to recolor stuff, this is where you put them. So go into your documents. Sims 4 Studio has its own folder. Go into mods, and this is where you put your CC. Now, I believe that once you've done it, you can delete these, but I haven't recolored anything, obviously. I put these 2 hairs in here and those black jeans because with the intent of recoloring them months before. Look, this is July 16th, July 4th, June 27th, March 28th, February 18th. Actually, that might have been the day that they modified it. Anyways, these have been sitting in there with the intent of me recoloring them, but I didn't actually know that I would be able to recolor them now. So, that's, you just click and drag it from your downloads folder into the mods folder, like I said. To get here, documents, Sims 4 Studio, mods, and just paste it in here. There's our pullover hoodie right there, the package. We got clearance from their Tumblr page. The polite thing to do is to message them and ask them. However, this is not going to be something that I'm going to be profiting off of. Ooh, that does. That looks so much better. This is from the fitness pack, I believe. There's like a long sleeve tee that goes under this, and then the hoodie on top, and I think they removed the hoodie. So let's see. Let's start Googling some mental health awareness. I can do a ribbon. If you guys have any sort of recommendations of, I'm not laughing at this, I'm laughing at my dog. He just walked by and his little tail just like curled up around my leg. I like this one. Let's view image. Shit. Okay, so don't get too excited with these. I forgot. Look up transparent, because I promise you there's going to be transparent images for what you're looking for. I'm going to do this one. Oh, there's a depression awareness one. I'm going to do that one too, so let's download that. I'll look up another one because that has someone's personal logo on there and I don't want to use it. Ooh, there's an autism one. This one or this one? I think the one with the butterfly. It has someone's name on there. I'll see what it looks like. Let's see. Again, I suffer with depression and anxiety as well. I have a few people in my family that suffer with bipolar disorder, so I'm going to tread very lightly when I speak about this, but it is something that I'm familiar with because it runs in my family. So, if you guys have anything you see on here that you would like me to add, please do not hesitate to say something. Did I download one of these already? This is children's mental health awareness. I think the green one is. I like this one. I love this one. That was a really good idea, Deborah. Thank you. I'll definitely be sure when I upload this, I will definitely include your name in there. Are you in the Facebook group? I have 10-week-old chocolate lab. I would love a ribbon like that one a lot. What about the claim your own power? Okay, let's look up claim your own power. Is there one on here that I missed? I like this one. No health without mental health. I like this one too. It's not oh, it is transparent. Let's do this one. My younger sister actually suffers with bipolar disorder, so that one will be especially for her. She doesn't play The Sims, but I think if I showed it to her, she'd really appreciate it. I kind of like this too. It's very simplistic. Is it transparent? Nope. Of course not. Okay, so you said DID, dissociative identity disorder, correct? I've taken a few semesters of psychology in college, so I believe that's what that is. Claim your own. Yes, you're in the Facebook group? Okay, I'll just look up your name. Is it the same in here? I can just tag you when I upload them so that way you can see them. Claim your own power. Or claim your power? Do you know specifically what it looks like or something else that I can look up? Because this isn't really showing anything. Mind you, it could be something that is already created. However, I think doing transparent is a little bit easier just for the sake of I just started making CC, so I don't really want to try and put like a box onto a t-shirt or onto a hoodie, mind you. I don't see one. However, I'll make a note of it and maybe I can just make a text on the hoodie itself that says claim your power. Do you want it to say claim your own power or claim your power? Because I think you type claim your power. What about claim your power? Yeah, so because I'm not really seeing it here, let me see if I can find it without being transparent. See, there's that mental illness sticker, but I don't see any that say just claim your power. See, these are nice, but I can't. there's no guarantee that this will look good on a sweatshirt. You know what I mean? I can try it. By all means, I am more than willing to try it. Maybe if I did like a deep, dark navy blue and put this on there. I know this may look a little corny or something, but that's the best, most clear version of that I've seen. Yeah, I think I might just have to make my own text. My dogs are both inside, so let me go ahead and close the door. Give me just a second. Hey. Hey. Alright, you guys. I'm actually going to make a couple of these swatches. I might not finish them, but it's a little bit of a different clothing item than the dress was, right? So I think in doing this, I may be able to learn a little bit more in terms of adding images and stuff, because before I was just adding the image to the entire thing, so it didn't really matter if it matched up. I think it's this one. I really want to recolor these jeans. Next. So, H hoodie, Deborah. Okay, so they should bring up a separate window from the one we already have. No. Okay, it's okay. Let me look for it one more time. It'd help if I knew the creator name, I could just search for it. I might have to do that because it's not showing up. Wide watcher simply is Yabby. I don't think this is going to work. Let's see. WH pullover hoodie. WH pullover. Are you kidding me? I found a perfect hoodie and it won't show up. Let's see, it's a male hoodie, so maybe I can find it that way. No? Alright, you guys, so that's not going to show up. I don't want to give up that easily, though. Let's see, I did like some of these that were here, so let's look at that again. So I had downloaded number 4. Let's do number 2. Retouch over GTW sweater. What's GTW? Match edit and retouch. There is nowhere that it says you can recolor. I don't want to get in trouble with one of my first or second recolors by recoloring something that you're not allowed to, so I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I may just have to do this off stream, and then I can message you, Deborah, on the Facebook group, or I can just make a post and tag you in it. Let's see. The only reason why I chose to go through Tumblr is because Tumblr is a little more straightforward in terms of like, can you recolor this, yes or no? Sims resource, let me see, no it's not. The Sims resource occasionally says it, but most people who upload to the Sims resource don't want you touching their content at all, so you're less likely to find something you can recolor. Not only that, but a lot of these look like they're perfect. However, I don't know how to remove images from a hoodie, so I'm looking for one that's just plain, like a plain Jane hoodie. Recolor or new item. Recoloring allowed, yes, cool. So let's download this one, and I might just have to paste it on 2 separate sides of the shirt, or maybe do like a little logo up here. Let's pray to God this works. In the meantime, I'm actually going to go back and work on the void watcher dress. So let's hop into Photoshop. Let me delete this because I actually don't like that at all. Let's see. Colors. So I have these guys right here that I was trying to put onto stuff, and they're blue. So maybe I could, no sis, I don't need you, stay there. This guy's always trying to join the party, no one invited him. As you guys can tell, I have Blender. I don't know how to use it, but it's there. Okay, so that downloaded, so never mind. I was going to work on this, however, yeah. The good thing about Photoshop says I don't know how to do all that. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to finish this first, and then I'm going to go on to it, because I have to save this in order to close it out. I'm sure there's another way not to save it and still have it there. I mean, I know that sounds kind of like backwards, like if you save it, if you don't save it, why would it still be there? But let me find something to throw onto the bottom of that skirt, because it's going to kill me if I don't finish it. Now, they still have not come to fix our AC. They were supposed to be here this morning at 8, and it's almost 5 p.m. Well, not almost, it just turned 4, 6 minutes ago, but still, I'm pissed. Maybe I'm going to try and do a little something here. So let's try and select just this center part right there. Let me go into here and see if, maybe I'm trying to do too many things at once. Edit. Edit. Copy. Edit. Paste. Okay. You need to go potty? Go potty? Go potty maybe? The back door's open, so if you guys hear outside noises, I do apologize. I gotta let the dogs out. It's a ribbon with a pink heart. It's on the page you were previously on. Okay, no worries, appreciate it so much. Think a lighter green and maybe white for the skirt. I was thinking a lighter green too, and it wasn't working. I don't. Transform scale. Just wasn't working out for me. Layer. Opacity, maybe 85 again. Okay, so that's the front of the skirt, and it doesn't look bad like that. So, there, create clipping mask. Let's see how that looks. Save as. Oh, maybe. I don't remember what I saved it as. It's in my recolor folder though. Cancel. That's done. It's canceled. Exit out of that. Okay, so it's not forest green. Where the hell did I save it? Forest green trees. Okay. Command C. File, save as. DDS. Replace. Bitmaps and transparency are on. Let's slide on over to this while it's loading. Import. I think that looks better. I'm content with that. The little fold is right down the center, so it looks realistic. The back isn't the best, but I mean, it will do for what I needed it to do. Okay, so let's minimize this. I can exit out of this since it is saved already. Don't save. So let me see my downloads folder, new tab, downloads. Okay, so there's that knit hoodie. Let me Simblr Studio, mods. Okay, did that go in there? Knit hoodie, cool. Okay. So you said there was the claim your power on something I didn't see, but I went through that whole page and I didn't see it. I'm pretty good at spotting stuff like that. You said on the page I was on previously. Green with pink? Oh, this one. I totally didn't see that. And it's transparent too. Perfect. I'm gonna do this one too. View image. Save image downloads. And okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to delve into right now. Okay, so I have all of these saved. You're back, Ajani, thank you. Some people are probably just multitasking. You had to clean up a bit. How have you been though? I've been great. Unless you're asking Deborah, then I take that back, but I've been doing well. Please be here. I was really about to scroll through all that. No, man. Why the hell is it not showing up? Someone doesn't want me to be great, y'all. They really don't. I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you. I would love to do this. Obviously, I'm going through all this work. It's not showing up. Because these are all hairs appearing. You know what? I'm going to do it on a base game hoodie. Let's look for clothing, body. Just for the sake of continuing the stream, I don't want to sit here and keep looking for one. I know for a fact you can recolor base game items. People do it all the time. You don't really need permission for it. Let's find us a good hoodie. I don't think I have any hoodies in game that are going to suffice. Might just have to deal with the t-shirt. Because I really am getting frustrated looking for this. I've spent like, I don't know, the past 30 minutes looking for a hoodie. I'm not complaining, it's just I assume this would be much easier to find a damn hoodie that works and shows up in Sims 4 Studio. And it's not. And I can't find one that works in the base game. I might have to do something with an expansion pack, so I do apologize. I try not to if I'm doing something. Obviously I said I was going to look for a base game one, but I mean if it's in City Living or one of the stuff packs, I mean that's just what we're going to have to go with. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just about to give up. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more, but I really am. Like I can't do it. Like, you saw me download 3 different meshes. One of them was for kids, so granted that one really doesn't count. So I downloaded 2 different meshes, and neither of them worked. And both of them gave me permission to recolor them, so yeah, I'm not going to bother with this, because I'm going to sit here and get pissed off. I'm just going to go back to doing this. Because that I do know that I can do. I'm not going to forget about that. Obviously, I downloaded all of those thumbnails and whatnot for it. I'm not going to sit here and complicate things more than they need to be. I don't mean for that to come off rude or anything. I don't have the patience to sit here and look for a hoodie that happens to work with Sims 4 Studio. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm not. Well, I know I'm uploading it into the right spot, so it's nothing to do on my end. I don't know, maybe I just didn't find one that was actually like workable, and like I said, I'm new to this, so I don't know everything in terms of recoloring, so I mean I guess I was bound to make mistakes at some point, or bound to not be able to do something and come across an obstacle, I guess. So I do apologize, Deborah, I don't have the patience to sit here and keep looking. You are going to message me in regards to Photoshop. Okay, love. Let me know. I will be here. Copy. Thank you, FedEx truck, for that wonderful, wonderful intermission. I really appreciate it. Paste. Okay, opacity. This one is a little bit of a darker item. I've already done a decent amount of explaining earlier, so I'm not really going to go into full detail about what I'm doing now. I'm just going to keep recoloring. If you guys haven't already, feel free to hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. Again, I do apologize, Deborah. I really wanted to get that done, but I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew, I guess. I mean, I didn't really have a set agenda before the stream anyway, so I'm not like discouraged I couldn't do it, because that wasn't really the plan to begin with. I had this dress in mind, and I mean, I recolored the dress on and off stream, so I'm pretty content with my work today. It's just, that's really frustrating. Like when you're doing everything right, and like I know I'm new to this, and so there could have been something I missed or whatnot, but I don't have the patience. I really don't. Transform skill. Let me see if I can't. I have a really bad upset stomach. It hasn't been feeling, whoa. I haven't been feeling well. For the most part, 'cause like I said, we haven't had air conditioning in a couple days. And that's been super shitty. But I woke up today, so I can't complain. Okay. File. Save as. Void blue. Ocean. Okay. So let's import. Actually, let me change these thumbnails really quick. That's what I did. Alright, so I'm going to do, there's 10 swatches here. I kind of want to leave one of these blue, but I think this one is already blue. Yeah, so let's move that over there, and let's work on this one. So import. I'm so excited that I finally learned how to do this. You guys don't even understand. You really don't understand my level of excitement. The sleeves are two different colors, and that kind of bothers me. The skirt isn't the best, but it's not the worst. I'm going to go back and fix this. I'm probably only going to stream for about another 30 minutes, so feel free to ask any questions now. What you doing, Blue Hoo? What you doing? What you doing? You were rolling around outside, honey. You're all covered in grass. You're all covered in grass. If you guys give me just a second, I'm gonna put some of my vegetarian food, just like some chicken nuggets, into the oven, so I can have something to eat in 30 minutes. I know some of you guys have asked before, these are what I eat. They're Gardein crispy tenders, the 7-grain ones. I think there's a little tiny label right here. It just says certified vegan. You always want to look for that. It's like the bunny ears. I was wondering what was up, because you guys saw how excited I was when the stream started, and then my mood just kind of went left. I got frustrated with not... Can I talk? I got frustrated with not being able to find the hoodies, and... Or I found hoodies, but I didn't find a mesh that worked with the Sims 4 Studio for whatever reason. You know what? I didn't turn down the... Oh. That's why. So 70. 70. That's why they're two different colors, because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So always make sure your opacity is right. Void blue ocean print. And see. Okay, so Photoshop, edit, save file, save as. Or not. Just breathe. Oh, what I was saying is I was wondering why my mood went from 0 to 100, or from 100 to 0, more like it. It's because all I ate was breakfast this morning, and it's almost 5 o'clock. And I am a large man. I really am. You guys don't really see it because obviously body shapes get distorted and whatnot on the internet. But I'm literally like pushing 6'3". I'm a very large man. And I require lots of food. And I don't eat meat, so I have to eat more frequently than a guy my size would have to. But do you see what I mean? This is real super dark, and these are both really light. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, I hope this works. Tight. Okay. So let me change the color of the swatch. That's okay. And then maybe leave that one. Let me hide it in Don't be nice, please. I wanna feel you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I need a gingerbread man. I wanna need a gingerbread man. I wanna hold you so close, so tightly. Baby, how do I say this politely? Love me harder and don't be nice, please. I wanna feel. Shit. Edit, undo. Where is this other layer? Jam it. Damn it, Janet. Transform, scale. I'm just basically doing the inverse of that last recolor I just did. I kind of want the top to be just the slightest bit more more blue, if that makes sense. Oh, shit. Hold on. Did I just do something? I sure the fuck did. I'm gonna save it. Let's see. Void blue lilac.